Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola has written to the Nigerian Governors Forum to request a meeting in order to decongest jails around the country. In exactly 1 month, Aregbesola stated that he would meet with governors to agree on the mass release of at least 30% of convicts from correctional facilities across the country. The minister also said that the interface was necessary as more than 90% of the inmates were being held for contravening various state laws, noting that over 70% of the 75,000 plus inmates at present were awaiting trial. Moses Ida Michaels is co-founder of the Justice Project, and he joins us now. Great to have you, Moses.
Thank you for having me.
Very good. Now, what do you make of this scenario? You know, when you talk about Nigerian prisons, it's always about congestion and then the slow process of the judicial system in actually getting closure on cases, especially criminal ones. And then we have scenarios like this. What's your take on that?
This is actually a really good initiative by the Minister of the Interior, Mr. Rauf Aregbesola. Really, really amazing initiative. And I think that's the kind of thing that we need as a nation right now. So I think it's a good initiative at the top of it. But there are things that we need to do to undergird it, like you said, about the process that throws people in prison in Nigeria. It's very easy for someone to jaywalk across the road and go to prison. It's very easy for someone to be in a wrong neighborhood and get thrown into prison today. So the process is not clean. The judiciary is also bogged down with many problems, the courtrooms. We have, even in prison, a revolving door system where it almost seems like the people going to prison come right back on the road and back into prison. So the prison system, or the correctional system, is actually not really correcting people. So how do you handle such a thing in a country like ours? I think that's what we in the Justice Project are about, really.
Very good, Moses. You know, you just brought about what I was going to ask you later, is about rehabilitation. You get hardened criminals in there. You know, by the time they come out, you expect them to at least be able to stand on their own. And we've seen, you know, over time, you know, abilities by prison authorities in conjunction with NGOs and even some judicial authorities themselves to at least try to contribute to their, you know, being good people by the time they come out. But regarding what the minister is proposing,
yes,
and then not being able to achieve the rehabilitation aspect, and then you're putting them out there, and you're still not, that question mark regarding how they will impact society, and where are we?
So the truth is that there is actually a very big problem. I used to be part of the people who go to prison to feed prisoners. That's how I stumbled upon the Justice Project.
Okay.
And I will go there with sleepers, soap, food for prisoners. One day I heard in my spirit, look up on the board. So I took my eyes and looked on the board. This particularly was in Ikoyi prisons. Look up on the board, and looked up on the board. How many people convicted? 125. How many people are awaiting trial? 2,700 awaiting trial. So it means that 70%, that's what the minister is saying, 70% of the people in our prison, where is the principle of being held innocent until proven guilty? So 70% of the people in prison are not supposed to be there. So if the minister says, let's take out 30%, it's an amazing initiative, first of all. But of course, the same zeal with which we are saying, let's take them out, is the same zeal with which we should pursue rehabilitation. Today, the general problem of Nigeria in terms of the fact that the economy is weak and resources are not readily available for everything government will do impacts this process. And that's where charities come in. And that's where many well-meaning individuals need to come in. We need to do like a Marshall Plan to empty out the innocent, because every one person, 75,000 people in prison, and only 30% of them have received any notice. So the main problem is not even the hardened criminals. It's the innocent people who for being in the wrong neighborhood arrive in prison. They don't have any brother, they don't have anybody. Even the bail system is so difficult. You have to have a civil service. Like if you're from a remote village, where do you get such a person of? So we have to talk about even the criminal justice system itself because the bail conditions are way too harsh for petty criminals.
Yeah.
So there is a multi-pronged problem. So
it's a multi-pronged problem. I agree with you, Moses, but there's also the possibility of a source. It starts from somewhere.
Right.
The arresting officers themselves.
Right.
How educated are they based on the crimes they allege that these people commit? Meaning there's a lacuna between those who are supposed to be arresting people, the justice system, and of course, eventually them ending in prison for 70% is a lot.
It's a lot.
Is a lot. So how do we address such anomalies?
Okay, so first of all, that's what we're trying to do in the Justice Project. The Justice Project is actually about lawyers, people in law firms, law practices, and just trying to say, what can we do about this system? So we have three parts of our project. Part one is actually getting legal representation.
Yeah.
So lawyers will stand up for people who are in prison, just investigate the case. Just the fact that a lawyer is there speeds up the process, because some people in prison don't even have files. They don't even know why they're there. There's no case number. There's no accusation against them. But they're just remanded. So the lawyers go through the process of properly establishing crimes and seeing that these cases are presented in court and representation. That's the first thing. And we have about 26 law practices on the Justice Project signed up. And we hope that we can get 100. The Nigerian Corrections Service gave us a letter of authorization to say, okay, we're going to be sending numbers to you people, inmates to you people for you to go through a clearinghouse system to get them out. So we commend them for that partnership with us, the Justice Project. These are the kind of things that help to free up the system. There are actually some good in Mr. Raufa Aregbesol's proposal, like I said before as well. So at the other level, rehabilitation is actually very detailed. And I found that even for us, it was a very complex process where you have to go to people. Once sometimes people come out, they want to run away. They don't want to be associated with that toga of ex-convict. They don't want to be in an ex-convict rehabilitation program. They just to disappear. But with the people who have stayed with us, we found out, help them to get a job, help them to start up a small business. You may not even believe that with 100K, 50K, you can make a difference in someone's life. And the person will be on the road to recovery. We shouldn't just dump them into society. We should get the process of putting them back. And then the third part, obviously, is the police system and the thing. So we need to take a critical look, but that has to do with the reform of the police justice system. It's a very big thing.
It is.
So as of now, if the Minister of the Interior is partnering with the state governments and saying that most of the crimes are petty crimes from the state and not even federal offenses, it's a good thing for the state governors to actually lean in and just help have some measure of agreement to speed up the process of taking people out who are innocent.
Definitely a measure of fundamental human rights infringes is very prominent in this scenario, as it were. Well, let me just ask you, as lawyers within the Justice Project, what drives you to be part of this scenario?
So the Justice Project is a faith initiative. I am a pastor, and I believe that every human being is created by God. And your fundamental right, is the most basic right, is for you to deserve your freedom. You have value. Every human being created has value. And any one human being wasted is a waste too many. So I feel like this is the journey that we need to give people towards that freedom. And that brings a multiplier effect in itself, because any person who has been helped, it turns out to help others. So for me, the inspiration is the value of a human being. What is one human being worth? The world changes. What are they worth? The normal people who we don't know their potential yet, what are they worth? 70,000 people in prison, let's presume that maybe 50% are even guilty. Now the other 50% is not a colossal waste of human beings.
Indeed. Talking about, let me just stop you there. But let's talking about the worth of human beings. You find out in some aspects,
Yes.
for example, the United States, there have been amazing stories
Right.
of people on death row. At the point of being executed, they find out, okay, fine. After all the appeals, they find out that, okay, fine, they're actually not guilty.
Guilty, yeah.
Due to DNA and, you know,
Right,
and,
new
yeah, all the
advances.
scientific...
Yes.
And when it comes to scenarios like that, you've been wrongfully convicted, you've been in jail for so long, and at the end of the day, where does restitution in terms of being compensated, what are the prospects for that? And do you also aid in getting that done? Because, okay, yes, you want to forget that this
Yes.
even happened to you in the first
Right.
place. But like, let's face it, a huge chunk of your years,
Right.
your youthful time, was taken away from you.
Stolen from you.
Stolen. So,
Even in Nigeria, like some of the cases we've handled, there's a lady in Kirikiri prison whose daughter was raped, and she reported the rape. And they turned on her and arrested her because if there was rape, where's the baby? And they said to her that, okay, your daughter must have done abortion. So the person who raped her, the imam who raped the girl, had turned with the police and arrested the mother of the raped girl, like double jeopardy of law. And the woman had a little baby in prison. She was weeping until we met her. And when we brought her out from prison, it was just the freedom, the taste of freedom, first of all, is priceless, especially for the innocent. The taste of freedom, like I almost feel like, you know, emotional. So the first thing is the taste of freedom as a gift. The second, reparations is not possible. Nobody can pay you for 1 year of your life that you lost, or 10, or even 50. Even if they give you money, what is that to you? Like those people, after 10 years, you're proven innocent. 20 years, some 40. We see these stories out of the US.
Yeah.
Because of the advance in technology, they're able to prove, even after 40 years, innocence. There's nobody that can pay you for that.
very good. All right, we wish you all the best in your quest to get justice for the voiceless, as it were. Executive Director, the Justice Project, Moses Ida Michael, it's been an honor having you.
Thank you so much. We invite all the law firms in Lagos, come and join us. This is the fastest way to become a SAN.
Very good, very good.